Mother-in-law insists on having a room in my home despite the fact she hasn't spent the night in 15 years. The players, me full-time job work from home since COVID, husband small business owner which means he works 24/7 and does his office work at home, and since it's a small business this means we all work with/for him, no issues, gotta pay those bills, and 2 sons, 21/24 males dependent i.e., in college, one lives at home, the other at school but is home holidays and summers. Mother-in-law and father-in-law. About a year ago we had a very large water leak in our home. It took down part of a ceiling and part of a wall in our guest room. This room has been a storage/garage-like room for 15 years. Prior to that, over 15 years, my in-laws stayed in that room a couple of months each year for 4 years because they were in transition. We had a wonderful relationship and I was closer to her than my own mother. My children are very close to them as a result. She had a rule, she dealt with the daughter-in-laws for social things, etc. A couple of years ago she decided that she wasn't talking to her children and, as a result, our relationship has cooled. I am sad over it but I respect her wishes. Who knows, I might feel the same if it were my boys. My niece contacted me several months ago and asked to come for a visit. She lives 800+ miles from us and we live near a major tourist city. I am thrilled to see her and her family. They will be with us for 2 full days and 2 half-travel days. They will also tour the city we live near independently because both my husband and I have to work. I will take 1 day off. They will choose the day on the fly depending on the weather. In light of her visit, my husband has been wonderful and offered to fix the guest room despite the fact that we will be remodeling in the near future, architect drafting final plans, and it will be ripped out. I am beyond grateful for his generosity and kindness. About 2 weeks ago I received a group text from Mill to the family. My husband has 2 brothers with wives and families, with an invite for dinner to celebrate their 60th anniversary. I did not respond to the thread. I texted her privately letting her know my niece and family would be here. Crickets. PS another group text asking we all join them for dinner. I again text her privately my niece will be here. Crickets. Obviously, it is not okay if they join us. Received third group text. Responded in group my niece would be here. Crickets. I called my Mill. She is an artist and I have been storing picture/painting frames for her for 16.5 years, yes, years, and they are substantial in size and take up a lot of storage in a house that has virtually none. They were in the guest room/storage area prior. I asked if she wanted them because we can no longer store them. They were covered in layers of dust and cobwebs but in good shape. She said yes. I asked her what day I could drop them off and communicated that I need them out by a specific date, company coming, sheetrock guys, flooring guys, etc., a lot going on here. We set a date and I shared with her I would like to get rid of the bed after my niece leaves because both my husband and I need an office to work from. Please note my husband works hunched over at our living room coffee table with a knapsack and a box like a homeless person. I work long hours and take many calls in a day and have to be on camera for meetings. This is important because working from my kitchen or bedroom is not appropriate for my now remote workplace. I need a quiet place to focus on my work. An office does the trick. We signed off as we always do, love you, bye. No problem, right? I get a call from my husband the next day informing me I am upsetting my Mill because I want to make the room into an office. And that I should leave my niece and her family alone for 3 to 4 hours to go to dinner with them, and why am I doing this to her? She has always been so nice to me, used to be true, but in the last several years there have been many times she has overstepped and I have kept my mouth shut to keep the peace. Occasionally I will take a stand, it's a pick your battles type of relationship. For example, my husband's brother paid for them to go on a cruise with us as an 80th birthday gift for my Phil. There was a miscommunication on where to meet that had nothing to do with me. Husband made the plan, and my Phil proceeded to scream at me at the top of his lungs in the middle of a public street in a foreign country. I told him very calmly not to speak to me in that manner, however, he continued. I told him I was done and walked back to the ship. P.S. My kids, my Sil, and her kids witnessed the whole thing. Sil said good for you, don't need to take that crap, and my kids were very upset that he spoke to me in that manner. Honestly, I get very little vacation time, and to deal with this poop fest was more than I could handle. Back to last night, hubby stated that she said that I am doing it to hurt her. They live about 30 minutes from us and we see them often, once a week / every 10 days. She has not spent a single night in our home in over 10 years, no need, they are close by, right, however, they are welcome in our home anytime for however long. Please note my husband is away on vacation with son number 1 in a foreign country when he gets his call. Also note my husband wanted to keep the bed, I guess he suspected she'd flip out, but said do what you want to because he recognizes our current work situations are less than ideal and not really sustainable. Further, my Phil informed my husband I am not welcome at their home and should not come to drop the frames, and that my husband, who has no time, and number 1 son could do it when they return from vacation. Remember, the clock is ticking, my niece will arrive in 6 days. I sent my Mill a text because my husband said she was upset and not to call her on the phone. I apologized profusely to her. P.S. I do not feel I need to apologize for anything I want to do in my home where we pay all the bills, but to keep the peace, I explained at length that this has nothing to do with her. I was very sorry, and it's about making our home function the way we need it to. I clearly outlined our challenges, etc., and explained my thought process, ensuring our home was clean and functional and it wasn't about her at all. I also suggested we go to counseling to work things out. Yes, it has gotten that out of hand the last couple of years. She sees a psychiatrist regularly and counseling is not an intimidating concept. Plus, I really would like to get to the bottom of what's going on because it's emotionally draining and it's come to the point where I dread spending time with them. It's always a poop show. If you go to dinner with them, Phil fights with waitstaff to get a free meal, so embarrassing. Mill comes to my home, adjusts the thermostat to suit her despite the fact that everyone in my house is sweltering and that's just the tip of the iceberg. She has opinions about everything, i.e., what I keep in my son's closet. I used to keep a few items in there because I personally have 1/4 of a closet for me. That was a blowout fight. What we should spend our money on, very against the addition, opinions on how we raised our kids, etc. Recently my husband asked me to put a post on FB, pic of us, on his birthday. Within an hour I get the call. I don't know how to say this, that's a beautiful picture of you, but, hubby name, looks like he weighs 400 pounds. Take it down now. It's true, we look age appropriate and we are chubby, let's be honest here, we are both fat. My husband chose the picture and asked me to post. What's the implication there? Why does she care what's on my FB? Naturally, I took it down to save the peace on my husband's birthday. My husband wants me to attend a dinner with him because she guilts and manipulates him and everyone by saying she doesn't feel well. She has depression and anxiety issues. This is a very well established tactic. She does it all the time. Claims she doesn't feel well to get her way and then she feels great. My husband is caught in a vice and, frankly, I'm too busy and too exhausted to deal with any of this. I am just trying to get through each day and hang on until I can retire. I don't need this drama, but I want to keep my boundaries. Advice for me? Comment. Stop giving in. Stop apologizing. Stop explaining. Keep the peace is improperly used in this post. It should be replaced with I'm manipulated into giving in and pay the price. You're a deal from heaven to her, and at this point I suggest you and your husband stop pandering to this insane bullshit. Just stop responding to the BS. When she's behaving you can respond, but if she's not, just nothing. Ice that bitch. She's way over the line and she's getting away with murder. Drop her shit off on her doorstep and text her the night before and the morning of, then when you inevitably just dump it on the doorstep tell her you left her some cookies on top. Bye bitch. Kill them with kindness that they know is not kindness, but what is she going to say lol? Just stop. Your husband is a big problem. Mill is the worst. Get rid of her stuff. Don't go to dinner. Do what you want with the room in your own home. Tell your husband he can move in with Mill. Not sure how you put up with them all these years. Stop talking to them. Let them be spouse's problem now. He's on vacation without you, he can go to his folks without you. Send a son instead. Just drop off the art stuff. If they bitch, oh well, too bad. You are done being a storage room. I'd do it super early. If your other kid is around, let them do the touching. They don't get to dictate anything. Guest room is just that, a guest room, not Mill's room, now soon to be office. I suggest getting a Murphy bed for it. They have these ones that are the bed bracketed by bookcases that attach to the wall. Really cool. They have desks like that too. So stop being nice. Stop explaining yourself. No is a good reply. Husband asked you to go with. No, your folks were rude AF to me. Hard pass. Besides the fact I made plans prior to your mother's event. Along those lines. Block Mill. Let Hubs deal with her. He's an adult. He can deal with their feelings. You are not responsible to fix their feelings. Nor is your spouse.